said if you don't, I you said you. All right. First and foremost, gonna turn and face the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there. Pushing this word in sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word in sincerity and the truth. We out here once again to let the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Americans know that we are God's chosen people. We're the Israelites according to the Holy Bible. We come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, known as America, which is Babylon the Great according to the Holy Bible, and is ruled and ran by the so-called white man Esau Edom, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We out here to proclaim the return of our Lord and Savior, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true ancient biblical name is Yahweh Shai. He is a dark-skinned man with woolly hair, and he's coming back to bring salvation unto the elect of the nation of Israel and judgment unto the rest of the earth, including 2/3 of our people. And what this Edomite, what this so-called white man has done, he has turned everything upside down. You know, everything that was supposed to be created and cycled in for good, you know, he has created or made it evil, or made a process of it evil. You know, like for example, when it comes to like marriage or sex or anything associated with that, instead of it being in a way where family comes out of it, you know, a stable nuclear family comes out of it, he turned it into a casual thing where he told the women, it's my body, my choice. And he got men thinking that the more bodies or more women he knocked down, that, you know, they make him some type of key player in life, when that has nothing to do with his value or his worth, you know? And for women, it devalues you every time you sleep with multiple men. The more men you sleep with, the more your value drops. And everything this man has done has turned everything perverse to where people are extremely unhappy. That's where a lot of unhappiness come from, because people just don't understand that the way they live and the mindsets they have is, you know, it's destructive to them. Somebody get Isaiah 29. Isaiah 29. No, it started like yeah, it started up some. Started at 9. Been in the AMP. Alright, this is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 9. Reading from the AMP.
Stop and take some time and wonder at this prophecy. Blind yourselves and be blind at its fulfillment by your spiritual incompetence. Thou art drunk, but not from wine. Thou stagger, but not from strong drinks.
Right. So the Lord said, blind and be blinded from your spiritual incompetence. Because again, a lot of our people have went to these churches, they went to these pastors, they went to these whatever spiritual guru or they get their spirituality from. That's not according to this Bible, not according to the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai. That's where they went to get understanding, and now they're all in spiritual incompetence. They're now all spiritual incompetence, including starting with the leaders, because you got this the so-called pastors. They went to Esau's seminary school, you know, and learned his way of the Bible being broken down, and they think that these Edomites really have some type of spirituality about them that's righteous, because they'll probably have a scripture on their license plate or have a favorite verse out the Bible but the Bible condemns them. You know, they don't live according to the scriptures. They don't honor the Lord. So these leaders, they really feel like they have knowledge according to the Bible when it's false. That's why the Lord called them spiritual incompetent. You blind.
For the Lord has poured over you a spirit of deep sleep. He has closed your eyes, you who are the prophets, and he has converted your heads. So like he has covered your heads, you who are the seers.
Right. The prophets and the seers. So that goes into those, because he's not talking about his real true prophets. Because if he was, he wouldn't have said in Jeremiah 3 and Jeremiah 3, I believe, verse 14, 15, that he was going to give us pastors according to his heart, which shall feed us with knowledge. So he's not talking about the men he actually set up. He's talking about the false leaders, the false prophets. And in today's time, we see that even amongst other Israelite groups. They are spiritually incompetent because they're not feeding the flock the true doctrine of Yahweh or Yahweh Shah, which is going to lead a lot of them to being judged. They're going to be destroyed because of that. For being spiritual incompetence is rampant amongst our nation, because even amongst the other nations, they know who we are. They know the basis of who we are. They know our history. They know about our God. You know, they know about what's supposed to happen for us in the future if we turn back to the Lord. It's our people that don't know this. It's our people that's spiritually incompetent. And you might have the heathens of this nation, you know, you got some over here that don't know. But when they go back to their land, they get more connected with their history. And our history intertwines with all these histories of the other nations. Every single nation on the face of the earth has intertwined with our history because we done went in captivity with to them. Or at some point we done conquered them. So our history intertwines with them and they know just how we did it.
The entire vision of all these things will be to you like words of a scroll that is sealed, which I give to one who can read, saying, read this please. He shall say, I cannot, for it is sealed. Right,
so it said it's like in the KJV it said a book. It's like it's given to somebody who's supposed to be able to understand it. When you say read it, because when you read, you don't read just to see the words. You read for understanding. So it's like you give it to somebody that's supposed to be able to understand the Bible, and you ask them a question about a prophecy, and they say, well, you know, we really don't have an understanding of it because, you know, they try to give some runaround or excuse. And that's what your modern day pastors do. And again, that's what these Israelite camps do, because we already at the point, I can't even say it's getting to the point, we already at the point where you can't hide what the real MOTB is. You know, it's to the point to where it's evident. You can't hide it. You can't say it's anything else. It's the phone. You know, it's Christianity. It's sin. It's literally right there in everybody's faces. And now you got to answer for that. But that's what it's going into. It's supposed to be prophecy is supposed to be broken down by these same seers and these same prophets or pastors that the Lord said is spiritually incompetent. They supposed to be able to break it down. They say, well, what it said that it's sealed. That means that's them giving the excuse saying that they can't break it down.
Then the book will be given to the one who cannot read, saying, read this please. And he will say, I cannot read. Then the Lord said, because this nation approaches me only with their words and honor me only with their lips service, but they remove their hearts far from me, and their reverence for me is a tradition that is learned by rote without any regards for its meaning.
Right, so that was one verse.
Yeah.
So like it said in the beginning of that verse, it said, can you read just the beginning portion again? Well, no, go to the verse before that.
It said, then the book will be given to the one who cannot read, saying, read this, please. And he will say, I cannot read.
Right. So it's going to be given to those who not leaders, or not supposed to be like a pastor. They're basically your regular everyday person. Because and we see that because everybody that go to church, that sitting, that was sitting in the churches, including us at one point, but everybody that's sitting in churches nowadays, or at some point in life, they can't break down the Bible. They can't explain certain prophets, most prophecies, not even certain. They can't explain really all of them. Because even prophecies that happen in the Old Testament, they can't break down a lot of those prophecies and give you the true understanding and bring out spiritual understanding from it. They can't get up there and how the pastor be trying to break certain stuff down. They can't even do the little bit that he do.
Right.
So that's what it's going into. That's why I say I cannot read. I don't understand this, what it's saying.
Right.
And that's a shame for an Israelite, because primarily for a man. Because all the Israelite men, I'm gonna let this train go by. And that's a shame for Israelite men in general in this world, because all the Israelite men from the elect all the way down to the 2/3 are all sons of God, and that's why in the kingdom of heaven, even the 2/3 are going to be reborn in their right mind, and they're going to be, given the new bodies. They're going to be serving Yahweh. They're going to be kings and priests in the kingdom too. But all of them are kings. All of us men are sons of God, and you got literally men that don't understand their power, don't know who their power is, don't know who they are, and can't break down their own history, their own book that was given unto them. Because even though we got leaders, we got, pastors, we got prophets, each man is still a leader within his own family, within his own household, because it was the man's responsibility to instill the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in his family. That's from his wife on down to his children. It was his responsibility to do so. That's a responsibility that the Lord put on all Israelite men when they become of age, and especially when you start your own family. So you have to have some type of connection with the Heavenly Father and being able to break down, scriptures and get an understanding. But, of course, if it's things you didn't know, we went to, those who did, because it's, it's an order unto it. And that's how it's going to be set up in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be an order. We all going to know the Lord, so we ain't going to have no questions about that. But it's going to still be an order.
Right.
And just to lamb back on you, that was something that was taught when the father would come home and sit down with the family to eat. That's what the father would do, is go into the scriptures. Because, the Bible tells, it said, let a woman learn from her husband at home. The wife, she's continue to, if they got kids, to teach the kids, the scriptures. So this was a process, that was done, at dinner time or whatever social time that the family, spent time together with. So it wasn't, but the father would go to the elders and different leaders of the community that was well versed in scriptures, and he would learn from there. But as a child, he learned growing up, and that's where they would go and listen to the word, be taught.
Church. And also, it's saying it's not that they couldn't read, but they were spiritually dumb, that they didn't understand what was coming out, what them words mean when it needs to be broken down. Just like what you just got to saying. They was just spiritually dumbed down. They didn't understand when the words coming out being read, and they couldn't understand that there. So, a lot of pastors read, but they don't have no clue what it really saying. They're like Roman just got through saying. You got a lot of them out there like that.
Right.
They dumb down. They dumb down to the system what they've been taught.
Right.
But it's all about what the word they say, prosperity. And they get a lot of that.
Right.
And, and it's sad that our people in that, situation. They don't have no spiritual light, so they wouldn't really know nothing about the Bible, about the Heavenly Father.
I got a quick precept. This is Proverbs 4, for what you just said. It's Proverbs 4 and 5. I'm gonna read it in the KJV and AMP. It says, "Get wisdom, get understanding." It's like that's not the one I want. Which that's a good one. That's not the one I want. It's like 1 second. This is Proverbs 4 and 7. Yeah, 4 and 7. Still, KJV and AMP. It says, "Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding." The beginning. Now, this is verse 7 in the AMP. The beginning of wisdom is get skillful and godly wisdom. It is preeminent. Which preeminent, just going into, it's the first. It's the most important thing. It's the first, foremost thing in your life, especially for a man. Not family, not saying put family, forget family or nothing. It's just the first and most important thing in a man's life should be Yahweh Shem Shah, and everything else fall behind it.
That's right.
And says, "And with all you're acquiring, get understanding. Actively seek spiritual discernment, mature comprehension, and logical interpretation." So that's going into being able to read the book and understand it, instead of like the brother saying, you got a lot of our people, they read the Bible, but you don't understand what you read it. That's why Peter, was it Peter that when that what was he an Ethiopian from when he was reading Isaiah about Yahweh Shai, and he asked him, "Do thou readest did I understand, Philip? I understand this thou without readest." And he came, he allowed him to come into the chair with him and get and explain it to him, break it down to him. So Philip gave him an understanding of what he was reading, and that's the main thing about the scriptures. You can't just read. That's any book really. You can't just read, or anything. You can't just read it just to read it or say you read it. You got to read for understanding, for comprehension, and to get the what the Lord was really trying to show us. That's why we constantly have to keep reading, because it's new things that's constantly being shown unto us. New revelations. And certain revelations that, like for example, on the individual level, certain revelations that one brother might have, another brother might not get it till a couple months later, after he, go back and reread over it again, But the other brother might have got it ahead of time. That's how the Lord works. But that's just to constantly keep building you up. But these people are people in this world, they don't understand that. They don't do that because they don't know Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why I said the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord.
Right. All right, back in Isaiah 29, verse 12. "Then the book will be given to one who can read, saying, read this, please. And he saying, I cannot. Then the Lord said, because this nation approaches me only with their words, and honor me only with their lips service, but they remove their hearts far from me, and their reverence for me in a tradition that is learned by rote, without any regards for its meaning."
Right, and you can read that verse in the KJV.
Verse 13 in the KJV, "Wherefore the Lord says, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips to do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of me."
Right, so like I said, our people, they all say they love God, God know my heart. All our people got different sayings just to try to justify their actions on how they live. Because that's really what they trying to do. They trying to justify how they living so they don't feel guilty internally about the things they doing contrary to the Bible. But the Lord said these people, they claim, they act like they serve me and they love me, but it's all fake, and here it is, you got our people on the earth. they can spot somebody fake in a heartbeat. You know, women can spot other fake women. Sometimes they can spot fake men, and likewise with men. But you don't think the Heavenly Father can spot fake spirits? You know, people who's faking it, especially amongst the Israelites.
That's right.
You know, so that's what he's saying. He was like, you people, y'all, your actions don't line up with your words, or your words don't line up with your actions, and that's a problem. You know, that's why he said their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of man, meaning it's taught by what this world taught you to how to fear me instead of how actually according to the scriptures.
Verse 14.
Oh, and I'm gonna say one more thing, and that leads up, you know, because that's leading all the way up into how Esau has turned the world upside down.
Right.
The fear of Yahweh Hashem Shah is not instilled in our people. That's why I say the precepts of man or the traditions of man, because again, like I said, just using that for an example for just this how sex is taught in this community. I mean, in this world, everything is over sexualized, from the clothing to the music to the movies. You know, even the food. You know, they got a movie about I don't even know the name of it, but it's like food and it's over sexualized.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the movie, and I think they got like 2 movies, but everything about this world is over sexualized.
Yeah.
You know, social media, everything. You know, but the Lord, He allowed, or He created that concept. Again, it's the forward life on earth, you know, and it's a way to bond, you know, like, you know, connecting with your spouse. It was a form of connection. But see, Esau done taught our people, he taught this world, but especially our people, to you know, have sex without commitment, without connections, and without the you know, without bringing forth life. You know, our people really see that as if you know, a woman, if she get pregnant, a lot of our women see that as a curse or something bad. That's why they go and get, you know, they were going to get abortions.
Right.
Or if they decide to keep the baby, they weren't planning on creating a family. But this is all going back to the fear of the Lord has been taught by the precepts of man, which is of this world.
Right. And I was seeing on TikTok today, it was Donald Trump was on there where you know, they had a comment about what he was saying about this bill here. The bill was called because women get pregnant and they blame a child on another man, and they were saying that you get a blood test, you can automatically sue that woman if it ain't your child. That means you could go back on her and have her paying the money back, you know, 20 years if it ain't your child.
Right.
And she don't have the money to pay it back, she could go to jail. That's how they doing Eve, wanna do Eve now. After all these years, Eve was their man. Now, your lover ready to divorce you. He gave you a divorce. Now, he don't want you no more. So, you know, it's simple. He ready to, you know, just handle you any kind of way now.
Right. And that's how you know. So that's how you know this is the Lord, because the man we talking about is our enemy, and like the scriptures say, he showed us no mercy. So he ain't in the mindset of, okay, I'm finna attack these women now, because him attacking his ally, which that's something Esau is prone to do anyway, but him attacking his ally takes pressure off the Israelite man, and the Israelite man is his primary target, his arch enemy. You know, we his arch enemy just like he our arch enemy. So this is how you know that this is the Lord breaking this system down and breaking, you know, punishing our enemy, because a lot of our women are enemies too.
Yeah.
So this is how you know this is the Lord doing, because this man Esau spent all this, he spent trillions and trillions of dollars on trying to oppress our people, keep us down, and show us no mercy. So now he's starting to go back and, you know, turn against one of his henchmen or henchwoman
Yeah.
that he was using to tear us down.
Yeah.
This is the Lord.
Did a good job with it. Gotta give him credit on that. But it's over for Eve. But you know, you got all Israelite women's not like that. They down with the brother. But you have them them elect against the brothers. So
Select few.
Huh?
I mean, the elect with the brother.
Yeah, the elect with the brothers. Yeah, and then you got them out there, them scatterwags, they told against the brothers.
All right, verse 14, it said, therefore listen carefully. I will again do marvelous and amazing things with the people, wonderful and astonishing things, and the wisdom of the wise men will perish, and the understanding of their discerning men will be hindered.
Right.
Be hidden, Salaki.
Right, and that has happened, especially amongst these church, well, this whole world in general, but especially amongst these churches. Especially amongst these churches, it said, what's she talking about? Especially amongst these churches, because as you can see, the Christian doctrine, all these other philosophies, they're not coming out and challenging anything that the government is doing. You don't hear none of these churches speaking out publicly, or going on social media to prophesy or condemn Babylon the Great, America, for all the actions it's doing, going and taking the Venezuelan president and his wife. You don't see them condemning what they trying to do, take Greenland. You don't see them condemning ICE. They can't. They under, first and foremost, they under agreement, so they can't speak about that. But if they was the real men of the Lord, they wouldn't make no agreements, or they wouldn't care about that agreement. That's why the Lord said that he making the wisdom of this world basically is foolish unto him. All the different. What is a college degree gonna do for anybody if you got ICE rolling around, especially for other tribes?
That's right.
They ain't gonna care about your college degree,
No.
or you a doctor. They ain't gonna care nothing about that. You would get handled probably even worse than the woman that got killed, or murdered. They are, and they giving them full immunity. Still talking about going door to door. So nothing about this world is gonna put you in a position that you can deliver yourself or save yourself. Only being under Yahweh by Hashem Abishai. But if you don't have the truth, or you don't have the understanding, you can't, you don't understand the scriptures, you ain't gonna know what to do.
Right.
Right.
And what you just said is like a segue into 2nd Ezra 16. They would go rifling houses, basically going door to door and casting them out that are, Israelite. It's a segue into it, because it's almost like going them birth pains. The conceptions, the contractions are happening, and they're beginning to get closer and closer and closer to that. Well, let this train pass. Those contractions are getting closer and closer and closer, and as they get closer, them pains begin to hurt worse and worse and worse. So, that it's like a segue into that. We can see the prophecy, like what we read earlier. Being able to see the prophecy, understand the prophecy, understand what's happening, and eventually, Jacob's troubles is going to be like unfolding overnight. It's going to hit everybody by surprise. Like that thief in the night.
Right. We already in the beginning, Jacob problem. It's here. It just ain't got wide open, like blown open yet,
Right.
but it's here. It getting started. Yeah.
It says, woe, judgment is coming to those who try to deeply hide their plans from the Lord, whose deeds are done in the dark places, and who see us, or who knows us.
Right, and that's the elite of these Edomites, because you are the mastermind behind the world, some of the world's worst atrocities. All of the world's worst atrocities, not some, all of the world's worst atrocities. But you Edomites in general, ultimately, because y'all all took part and bringing about the world that we living in now. You know, all these Edomites took part in creating the world and the environments that we live in. And then, you know, you other nations, you help them too. You be having secret councils and secret meetings. Psalms chapter 2. You know, why do the heathen rage and they imagine a vain thing, roughly paraphrasing? Because they all come up with these ideas on how they think the world is gonna progress in the next 5 to 10 years. All these other nations, they eventually say at some point in the next 5 to 10 years we're gonna do this or we plan to do that. But the Lord is in control of everything. They think that they're gonna be able to accomplish their goals and their plans and overwrite or overrule what the Lord has in store. So all these nations take part in that, but this is primarily talking about Esau Edom, because he the wicked.
Who they think got next beside America? Japan,
China.
They think they actually got next.
Right.
Verse 16, it says, you turn things upside down with your perversity. Shall the potter be considered equal with the clay? That the things that is made would say to the maker, he did not make me. Or the things that is formed say to him who formed it, he has no understanding.
Right, and this is the mindset of an Edomite, because first of all, a lot of the Edomites say God ain't real, there is no God. You know, they the primary atheists. But then you still had them Edomites like I always forget his name, Huari, the one that said if God wanted to get mad and cause a famine, we can make our own food. The guy that said that, you know.
Who said that?
I can't remember his name. I can't never remember his name. But like I said, he have no understanding. You know, this is the mindset of an Edomite. But they turn everything, and it said they turn everything upside down perversely. Meaning, you made like I said, you made everything wicked, which I had got that word perverse too. I want to you can pull up definitions on that app. I know you can do the interlinear, but like the actual word,
I have to go to Google.
I get it. Perversity. This is the definition for perversity. One, it says unreasonable. It says a deliberate desire to behave in an unreasonable or unacceptable way. The quality of being contrary to accepted standards or practice. The quality of being sexually perverted. And these are all characteristics of the Edomite. They behave in a way that's unacceptable and, like I said, unreasonable. Like, for no reason, people be wondering, like, why do you people doing this? Why are you acting like this? Or why are you like this? We know why, you know. But you ask the average Israelite, average Jake, whether it be male or female, why do you white people hate us? They'll say the skin color. That's all they know. That's what Esau taught you to know. That's what Esau wanted you to think. He ain't gonna really tell you it's because you the children of God. You the real Israelites, and I can't rule the earth forever like I want to as long as you exist because of that birthright.
Right.
And eventually, you gonna rule over me and pay me back for everything. He can't tell you that. So he dumbed it down to say, oh, it's because your skin tone. But we so far ahead of that, we know it's Israelites that look like Edomites that's gonna be delivered. But you got Edomites that look like Israelites that got melanin, and they're gonna be destroyed. It ain't about no skin tone. That's what that spiritual we came out of spiritual incompetence when we woke up to the truth.
About the weak and the terror.
Yeah, right. Because you got all these other nations, just like you got Israelites that look like the other nations, you got the other nations that look like Israelites too. Yeah. And that was a part of Esau's scheme when he, mixed his seed with our women and these other when we got sold off into slavery, a lot of our women got sold off. They had, they had to get with the men of the other nations as well, whether they wanted to or not. And this, this is some of the result, like you said, with the The parable about the tares and the wheat. That's why Yahweh Shah said, let them grow together, and when that time comes, I'm gonna sort them out. You know, the angels, he gonna have the angels sorting everybody out. That's what John saw, John the Revelator, that's what he saw in chapter 7. He saw Israelites that look like the other nations that were delivered. You got a precept?
On that perversity.
Go.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14 says, Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof.
Right, see, and Egypt,
a drunken man staggered in his vomit.
and the Egypt that it's talking about is Babylon, it's talking about America. So it said the Lord mingled a perverse spirit. We see just how wicked this place really is. From, again, the sexuality to to how the mindsets of these people, you know, because not only you got people that behave that way, you got people that think it's okay or they accept that culture, they say, you know, they can do what they want to do. That's perverse in itself. Yep. Yahweh Shah would never have no Israelite around him that think that even though they ain't doing it, they think that as long as other people do it, that's fine. It ain't them doing it. You know, he won't. When he come back, all that wickedness gonna be cut off. But you got Israelites that live like that, you know, and they accept that. They accept a woman being over a man or being promiscuous, you know. And of course, the women, they accept it because this is they quote unquote liberated, or they accept Esau still ruling the earth. Cause all this is perverse. These Edomites wasn't created to rule the earth.
But going back to that definition that you read of perversity, the Lord mingled that type of spirit up in this place. That's why everything is going on. You know? Mingled the spirit of perversity in the midst of this place. And that's why everybody moving how they move. You know? Which is going to lead up to all this. Neither should there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch, or rush may do.
Right, and I just thought about something else. How Esau, you know, how Esau get down with children or animals. You know, he got certain. I don't think it's all 50 states where bestiality is illegal. I might be wrong. Look that up. Huh?
It's legal in some states.
See, you got certain states where bestiality is legal, but this is the Edomite man, the same man that allowed the same sex to get married, but a man can't marry more than one woman. You know?
Ain't that something?
And then what is it? I don't want to say it. That the National Association for Man, Boy Love. It's something like that. I forgot the acronym. It's you can look it up though. They got a whole association where men and little boys can be together, get together. You know, cause we had looked it up on the Google one time. They got a whole website and stuff for that. You know.
But it's wrong for a man have more than one wife, but it's exception for all these other men.
Right. That's the Lord mingling a perverse spirit. So now this place is deteriorating so bad that, like this brother just read, it's caused this place to fall on every aspect. The people are falling. The people are getting weaker. You know. The generations are getting extremely weak. It's time for this place to go down and be destroyed. So the Lord is destroying this place on every aspect. And that's why I say ain't going to be no work for this place. You know? It ain't going to be no more jobs. People ain't going to be able to survive.
The place needs to go down. Sick of it.
That's why it's going to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah.
It needs to go down.
You know, because during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, you had all types of wickedness going on. And so we got that same wickedness happening now. You know, the Revelation is telling us that every foul bird is in this land. You know, so I mean all wickedness, every sin we name is here. You know, you don't have to go far to find it, you know. And so like the brother's going into, that's that perverse. You know, this country allows everything to happen. You know, where some other countries are stricter on things, this country allow anything. You know, and so it's got to go.
You think about it, our people love this wickedness. They love it. And they think highly of this place. They don't even care about their own salvation. They love this place. And they don't want the place to go down, because none of our people they don't know what tomorrow will bring you. Destruction. And they don't care about it. You know, they going through everyday life, they're doing the rotation. And they ain't worrying about nothing. They think Great Babylon gonna go on another 50 more years, 60 more years, and doing what they been doing. Eating all the pork up, eating everything that God, Yahweh Shem Abishai, put on the face of the earth to clean the land up. And they tearing it up with their lips.
Right.
Go ahead, brother.
And like the scriptures say too, in Jeremiah, because like I said, the Lord mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt, and He got us right in it. Because you gonna read on down on it. He got us right in the midst of Egypt, and we seeing everything, you know. So now, like, because you brought up Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot had to live amongst those Sodomites, you know, and he hated it. You know, he hated seeing how wicked they were on a day-to-day basis and living amongst them, you know, until the Lord delivered him. And you know, just like the Lord told Jeremiah, you see what Israel doing. You see what backsliding Israel do. You see these people. He got us in the midst of it, seeing the same thing, and we like, okay, you know, because we came out of the world. At one point, we was in the world. Now we out of the world looking at it, and we're like, man, I see what the Lord talking about.
Yeah.
Like I see exactly from His perspective what He mean when He said all these words in the scripture.
Right. You know, I be around some wicked guys every day while I'm at work. First priority, man, them go up here and give me some pork. Man, like, you know, to them that's a delicate, and they love it. And like, you eating now, man? Oh, you used to eat? I said I was used to eating when I was dumb. Didn't know no better, because that's what my mom and dad had taught me. When I started hearing people saying pork was bad coming out the Bible, the dietary law, right. I started, I said, no, we don't supposed to eat it, so I don't want to eat it no more. You ate it. I ain't never say I ain't ate it, but, ate it, but, I did that when I was young, because that was my mom and dad that bought. But I don't eat it now. I ain't ate pork in probably over 20-some years. Now, they might have a little thing like peppermint, till I found out it was in peppermint, Kool-Aid, such other stuff. Then I cut that stuff a little, like, with, double mint gum. And I used to eat Big Red. Then they found out they put, like, Big Red stuff tasting like catfish or shrimps or something. Like they had that taste of fish in it. And I left that alone. It was wicked, but that's what our enemy do to us. He deceive us at all times. He coming with a snare to trap you in some kind of way.
Right, and even in certain quote unquote stores, it's supposed to be like some type of health centered store like CVS or Walgreens.
Hey.
He got the pharmacy and all that stuff in the back. And then at the front, he got all the unhealthy stuff.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
ready for you to destroy yourself.
Hey.
I was thinking about this morning. I'm like, you go to the doctor, and they tell you cut out the sugar, cut out all the salt, and all of this. But you go down to the hospital lobby or whatever, that's all they got in there for you to put in your coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, how contradicting is that?
It's very contradicting. Yeah.
you go down and buy a honey bun. Now you got to go upstairs to check in.
Yeah.
They got the vending machine in the emergency waiting room.
Mm-hmm.
It's waiting on this next victim.
Right.
I just think really it is. I don't think it really had nothing to do with the sugar part. I think our body out there pursuing all this toxic stuff that your guts, start having what's the word? Like a vibe.
It's a parasite.
It's a parasite you can't get rid of.
Right.
So it has something to do with your body can't control
Right.
what it's supposed to be breaking down because that parasite, that virus is in your body.
Right.
Till you get rid of it.
Right. It's
Yeah.
what exactly it's a parasite.
That's a parasite, yeah.
It's the refined sugar. They give you parasites.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't, I'm that sweet and low, all that, that is chemical. I seen on the article, it been a long time ago, there's a dude lit it up. It flamed up. That sweet and low, it flamed up. So, what it do when it get inside your body, when you put a match on it, it flames up.
Right.
So you gotta be careful about, putting this stuff in your coffee or anything.
And we had a natural, it's natural sweetness in the earth. I know honey is one of them. It's one of the best.
Yeah.
Well, it is the best, but
You can get it.
it ain't the
You
best.
can get it raw and uncut,
I'm talking about like the like in the ancient world with honey. It still ain't the best.
You got agave.
Okay, well, yeah, agave. One
they
dates.
sell it.
Then it has
Dates, yeah, okay,
Agave,
yeah,
dates.
yeah.
stevia too. The stevia leaf.
We talking about from the. Oh, okay, yeah.
It's all natural sweetener as well.
I thought you were talking about the package.
Sell it in the store. What you saying?
Yeah, agave.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's-
said Kroger's.
Oh, okay. Go.
You can get date sugar at Kroger's too.
Date sugar.
And date syrup. I bought some date syrup. That's what I put on my pancakes.
Keep texting.
Yeah.
Like the brother was saying, it's the sweet, different. Honey was good. Honey was a good one too. The Manuka honey.
Yeah.
It's like the Lord made, like a lot of the majority of it said the fruit every yielding seed, every fruit yielding seed should be for me. Most of the fruits are sweet.
Right.
Most of the fruits are that's the natural sugar. It's just once you taste this processed sugar that Esau created, you throw your whole chemical balance off. It's more addictive than that's the most addictive drug in this world. Sugar.
Sugar. Yeah, like crack.
It's worse than it's more addictive
Yeah.
than cocaine. Yeah, it's for real. That's why once you get it so hard to, you know what I'm saying? Cause your body, like you were saying, your body naturally produce sugar and crave sugar, but it's the natural sugar from the fruits.
Right.
You start getting that refined sugar, that's when you start getting diabetes and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And cause like you said, with the fruits, it don't, cause I was reading about like different fruits. Cause I be, eating certain fruits for breakfast and stuff. It don't have like a high,
Glycemic.
huh?
Glycemic.
I don't know the actual term for it.
Yeah,
But
that's what glycemic meaning your insulin level.
yeah,
glucose
yeah,
level.
it don't make it shoot up.
And by the way, brother, I don't even take my diabetic pill no more.
I stopped taking mine too.
Yeah. I don't take my blood pressure pill no more either. I left that mess alone.
Yeah, that
man.
stuff. I told my doctor the last time I went, I wasn't taking that. And I said, that
Yeah.
stuff causing cancer,
Yeah,
causing
man.
people to die.
Yeah.
Well, yours is not on the list. Like, I don't care. I don't trust none of it.
Cause you lose your nerves and stuff.
Right.
It kills your cells, your nerves.
But that's a part of how he turned things upside down. Cause even like what the brother was bringing out with the fruits, he got people would rather get artificial juice instead of actual getting the fruit, which is nothing wrong with, getting the natural fruit from the, juice from the fruit. But our people, they don't really juice, try to get the natural flavors.
Right.
Like from the actual fruit itself. Like they'll go and buy some juice and think that that's, healthy. That ain't, and then, you do your research, or you can just type it in on Google. It's telling you that, or whatever product, it's telling you that majority of the actual vitamins and nutrients that you can get from the fruit it's gone from the juice.
Right.
It's not even in there.
It's additive. I just want to say this, not give it back to y'all. Like what you're going into, when you actually go shopping, and I've been watching a lot of guys like Apollon, they got the Instagram Apollon, you know who I'm talking about. The brother from Jamaica, the Apollon, his page name is Apollon something. But, and then there's a couple other brothers on Instagram, Jake on Instagram that go into the health. When you go look at your food to buy food, it should have 1, 2, maybe 3 ingredients in it. You know, if you go buy, I'm just gonna use coconut, and you got 15 letters, 15 ingredients in there with your coconut, it ain't good for you. There's a lot of additives, there's a lot of things that's been added. It should say coconut, you know, and something else maybe, but it shouldn't have a paragraph there just, for coconut. So you gotta start reading these labels, to understand what you got, what you buying.
Right, you should be able to name. You should be able to name the ingredients that's in it.
Yeah, you should know what each one of them mean.
Right.
Start having them funny names.
Yeah, them long ass names that be having letters that you wouldn't even think be in the same word. You know it. And our people, we supposed to know how to, cause we always say, cooking is like a cultural thing. Well, of course, the so-called, all 12 tribes, of course, but like they say so-called blacks, they know how to cook. And you know how to cook, you know what's in the, what you eating, cause you know the ingredients you put in.
Right.
And that's a thing of our nation. Like the Lord, He made sure we knew how to. We supposed to be the best at everything on the earth. Everything righteous, we supposed to be the best at. So, of course, naturally, you're supposed to know how to cook, but you're supposed to know, like, the different seasonings, the different ingredients, the different nutrients. Our people, we are intelligent people. We the most intelligent people on the earth. We the best at literally everything. So even when it comes to like we going into the things that you eat, your diet, you supposed to know what's in there. Like you said, it's supposed to be at most maybe 7, 8 ingredients. Every Israelite gonna have their own special recipe that they add for certain stuff. But if you find something like you go to the grocery store and you buying something that's supposed to have stuff mixed in, you supposed to have an idea of what's in there.
Right.
If I go buy some milk, like you said, like coconut milk or something. If I go buy coconut milk, it shouldn't have a word in it. I don't know what it means.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And then have something in parentheses, and I still don't know what that means. You got it.
Back on me, or you still?
That's it.
Pop.
No, I'm finna go back to that. Back in Isaiah 19 and 16, I'm gonna start back at 14 again. It say, Yahweh Shem Yahushua has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggering in his vomit. Get that definition again, man.
Perversity.
Yeah.
This is the definition of perversity again. It says a deliberate desire to behave in an unreasonable or unacceptable way, contrariness.
Go ahead.
The quality of being contrary to accepted standards or practice, the quality of being sexually perverted.
So this the spirit that the Lord has raised up in the midst of this place, man. It's the type of spirit the Lord has mingled in the midst of this place, man. Read it from the top again. Deliberately.
A deliberate desire, meaning you willfully act like this, to behave in an unreasonable or unacceptable way, contrariness. You want all of them, or you just want that one?
Nah, but there's that one right there, man. So this is the type of, this is why everybody, this is why this place is gonna go down. This is why it's in the condition that it's in. Because the Lord has this type of spirit. The Lord has mingled in the midst of this place, man. It's deliberately, you know what I'm saying? They have people behaving in the way they act.
This,
Huh?
this just popped in my phone. Something you said earlier. It says in this part of that oppression that's going to come down. It says 60% of U.S. companies brace for brutal layoff as economy shift. You know, that's just the heading of it.
Right, because that's what the scripture says. It should be no work for Egypt. So, people are losing their jobs. People are becoming homeless. They living in their cars. You know, just like we were just talking to that guy. I don't know if he, what he is. He could have been an Edomite. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was saying how he got a job, but he don't got no place to stay.
Right.
He said he just got back to working, but he ain't got no place to stay.
Yeah, he ain't got no place to stay. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But that's the experience for the average American now. Especially in other states, we don't see it all too much down here, or at least in Jackson or the surrounding cities. But in other states, in them bigger cities, they seeing it on the all-time high. A lot of areas you go to, it's tents lined up. They take next door neighbor to the next level. That's the Lord's work. And all those people out there that's experiencing that, a lot of these be the other nations. A lot of these are Edomites, because the Lord bringing a lot of hell on these Edomites. They just ain't speaking on it. But these Edomites are experiencing major hell.
That's right.
But you got Israelites caught up in it too.
So the Lord has mingled, your Lord, Yahweh Hashem Shai has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. Neither should there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. In that day, verse 16 in the Amplified Version, in that day the Egyptians will become like helpless women, and they will tremble and be frightened because of the waving of the hand of Yahweh Shem Shai of hosts, which he is going to wave over them.
Right. So it said the Egypt or the Egyptians, which is going into the men, it said they're gonna be like helpless women, and in other translations it say be weak like women, and that ain't just going into physical. It's going into spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. The Lord is breaking this place down on all levels, and the people of this place or the people of this world, they're not going to be able to handle the level of devastation and destruction the Lord is finna, and judgment that He's finna bring on this place. Like it's literally if Yahweh wasn't with us, we wouldn't be able to handle it.
That's right.
Because the Lord stressed and specifically stated that it's a time like never before, and it's gonna be so bad that we need divine intervention. This gonna be, with it being a time like never before, you got the whole heavenly realm coming to the earth to intervene in matters that be so catastrophic it'll destroy everybody. That's just how how much it's gonna escalate. So it's gonna be bad. That's why the Lord said the men, they gonna be like women. And that ain't even at the worst point of it yet. That's just leading up to it. So, we already seeing this to a certain extent, but we gonna see it on a whole nother level as things get worse. This whole ICE thing might amplify it even more. Well, thing with Trump in general. Because I think even Iran was saying like, you know, they talking about trying to do assassination, you know, and they say we ain't gonna miss.
Oh, man.
So we gonna see just how bad things are gonna get. We definitely in those times. And we already know, like, you look at something. We already know how women are when time of trouble comes. They look for somebody to save them.
Verse 17 in the NLT, just to speak the name of Israel would terrorize them, for the Lord of heaven's army has laid out his plans against them.
Right. And these Edomites, they've been hearing about they've been hearing the brothers on the street corners teaching and prophesizing that evil is coming. You know, they might not remember everything we say, but they know we say the Lord hate them. They know we say that we gonna rule over them. They go into captivity. America's gonna be destroyed. It's gonna fall. And they seeing a lot of those things actually come to pass with America falling. They hear about the so-called UFOs. We know they the chairs, but they gonna call it the UFOs. They hearing about it. They seeing it. A lot of these Edomites are talking about it. So they seeing a lot of things coming to pass, and they afraid. So that's why I say, just to talk about what we were saying, they don't want to see us. You know, they don't. I still remember that one Edomite that used to come. I think he used to mess with you for a while. You remember he used to drive up with his wife. I think he had a convertible or something. Yeah, we don't see him no more. He used to come by every week.
And little dog, little $5,000 dog.
We don't even see him no more. When Trump, I think, was it when he first got in office, or no, it was the second time. Earlier last year in January when he first got back in office, he had one Edomite walk past. He just started smiling. I think it was the day after the elections, or sometime right out, like maybe 2 days after the election. Whenever we came out the camp after the election, after he won, they were walking past, smiling at us, waving. They don't do that no more.
Trump showed his true colors.
Just to speak the name of Israel will terrorize them. For the Lord of heaven's armies has laid out his plans against them. In that day, 5 cities will follow Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They will even begin to speak Hebrew, the language of Canaan. One of these cities will be Heliopolis, the city of the sun.
Right. So, and that's what you're seeing right now. The Israelites, wherever they are, all the brothers, or the believers. I say that the believers that truly believe Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the elect, we back speaking Hebrew, our native language. We call on the Lord. We speak we say what we say. We know what we know. We know in part. We ain't got the full everything yet, but we, like I said, we're gonna start speaking Hebrew, and this is what we do. When we say prayers, a lot of our prayers, or some of our prayers, they be in Hebrew. Or when we ask for things, we know how to say it in Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer, we say that we the only people on earth that say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, the Israelites, in the real Hebrew.
In that day, there will be an altar to Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the heart of Egypt. And there will be a monument to the Lord at its border.
Right, and we are the altars now. Every camp that's stationed when they come out, there's an altar that had been set up to the Lord. Romans chapter 12, 1 and 2, we are a living sacrifice to Yahweh Shem. Well, verse 1, we are a living sacrifice to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Every time we come out, that's a part of our, can you get it real quick? Good. Romans 1. Alex, you got you too?
Let's start at the right here.
cold, bro.
That what I was just
That's why I got this man on. Take the mirror, keep that cold out.
Let's go to the top.
Yeah, just verse 1.
This is Romans chapter 1 and verse 1.
No, Romans 12, 1.
This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is your reasonable service.
Right, so it's our reasonable service, what we supposed to be doing, you know? This is what we would have been doing anyway. But we are his chosen people. It said, an altar, that's what you go to do. When you go to the altar, you go, you go and make yourself a sacrifice. Or make a, a sacrifice is made for you. But now we are the sacrifices. So each camp, this is a sacrifice in our, in our daily lives. We put our lives on the line. We even put our, our families or those that we care about on the line. Because at any point, Esau can come after us, But this is all a part of what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be comfortable in Babylon the Great. With us doing this always keeps us aware of what's going on. Because when we start to get comfortable, you start to get complacent, you start to not want to leave. That's the mindset the rest of our people is. So that's why the Lord said it's going to be an altar in Egypt,
And the biggest thing is faith building. It's putting our faith totally in Yahweh Shah. That when the time do come, he's going to deliver us.
Right.
We're not going to, whether we be mortals or what, we know that we will be delivered, righteously, and be able to reign in his kingdom righteously. All Israel will be in the kingdom, but, we pray that we are that 144 and go in from this side into the kingdom. But if not, we know we're going to be reborn. So, it's where does your faith lie? Where does your faith lie? Is it in this world, like the brother got earlier this week? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. Or do you have faith in Yahweh or Yahweh Shah, someone you haven't seen?
read verse 2 and then 2. Read it in Amplified.
Romans 12 and 2 in the A and B.
Both on 1, 2. We got it.
Romans 12 and 1 in the A and B. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, to present your bodies, dedicating all of yourselves, set apart as a living sacrifice, holy and well pleasing to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is your rational, logical, intelligent act of worship.
Right, then it said dedicating all of yourself. So you got to be all in. Either you all in or you not in at all. That's what Yahweh Shah said. He said, I forgot which, I think it's Revelations 3. It said, I'd rather you either be hot or cold. Either you in or you out. But since you lukewarm, he don't deal with that. He don't deal with somebody that's trying to be in the world or try to still be cool with the world, but you want to try to get the benefits and perks of Yahweh Shah, or being in the ministry, or being amongst Yahweh Shah. He don't deal with that. Either you all in or you all out. But that's with anything. All the other nations, they the same way. Esau, if either you with him or you against him.
And do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you.
Right, see, and Paul he said this superficial word, in the AMP it said this superficial word, everything about this world is superficial. Because again, I said it before, we ain't taking nothing into the kingdom of heaven from this side, not even our own bodies. So everything about this world is really superficial. Your status, the type of body you got, the car you got, the life you quote unquote living, none of this is gonna. It don't matter to Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, because Yahweh Shah already let us know. Look, you gonna lose stuff. You know, you gonna lose things in this world. I was listening to Elder Kazak and Elder Apostle Rakah earlier today. Yeah, he in town too. But they were going into how, you know, you're going to lose stuff, but Yahweh Shah going to give us everything back. You know, Matthew chapter 19, everything you lose on this side, you're going to get it back. So with us understanding that a lot of everything about this world is superficial. It's unimportant. You know, we just going through the motion until we ain't got to go through the motion no more. But that's why they say progressively be changed. That's a progressive mindset. And you never get to, we ain't gonna ever get to perfection as long as we're in these bodies. As long as we're on this side, we just gonna be constantly perfecting ourselves. We'll never get to perfection until Yahweh Shah comes.
Right, it's been that way ever since Adam and Eve went off in the garden. It's been that way. You know what I'm saying? This world became superficial. You know.
That's why he said, be not conformed to this world and live as, and I'm quoting different scriptures, but live as pilgrims in this world. So you're not attached to the things you have, you know, because when it's time to go, like he said, we're not taking nothing with us. Oh yeah, I know why people too last week too. Coming on Harris too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she was doing a book signing over there.
I still here be here because I see these women, I see these just coming with the deals.
There might be something else going on, but I think she left Wednesday or Thursday night, whatever. And she was here doing that book
She was in
signing.
the building? Oh,
No,
really?
she was in the Coliseum.
Oh,
that's why
oh.
all the people were down in
All
the
the
Coliseum.
buses were coming through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, like I was saying, like we were saying, though, ever since Adam and Eve went off in the garden, this world became superficial. And let you know.
I got a precept. This is Proverbs 3, verses 1 and 2 in the AMP. It says, my son, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments, for length of days and years of life worth living, and tranquility and prosperity, the wholeness of life's blessings, they will add to you. So like you said, when they went off, the world became, it progressively became more and more superficial as people started to focus on the things of this world, right, materialistic, rather than focusing on Yahweh, and I say people, but I mean the sons of God, the Israelites eventually when we came into a nation. But that's what this world started to, that's what was promoted and pushed in this world, the creation over the creator. But Solomon gave a wise counsel of saying, look, the most important thing is the keeping of Yahweh Shema Shah. That's where you get the life worth living from, because then it comes with immortality. And then also, I forgot the scripture. I think it's in Wisdom of Solomon where it say, with wisdom, roughly paraphrasing, in her right hand come immortality or eternal life, and in her left hand honor, riches and honor, something along those lines.
Trying to get a precept real quick,
But yeah,
like finish this in Isaiah.
You were done with that Romans.
Yeah, come.
You good, brother? You good?
Right, so like I said back in Romans, we progressively are changing our mindset, progressively progressing towards perfection, but we'll never receive perfection while we in these bodies. The best thing to do is to be consistent, because consistency is, it's better to be consistent than try to aim for perfection. Because you can't achieve perfection, and even if you do something perfect, you can't be consistent with it. But if you be consistent, you can be consistently getting better, or consistent at something, even though it's not perfect. And that's what the Lord want to see from us. You know, us consistently getting better and keeping up that consistency, because He know we ain't gonna reach perfection while we in these bodies.
You know, another thing I just thought about it, as you were saying, and this is me speaking as a man, like you said, we can't take nothing from this world with us when we go. But one thing for sure, if we go from this side into the kingdom, our mind, which you know, the Bible speaks of the heart, will go, you know, and we will have that mind of memories of this world set. And those that come back through the rebirth, you know, all things will be added unto them, but they won't have the memory of this earth and the things that went on in the previous life. But, you know, and we hope that we of the elect, you know, in the 144, we will have that mindset. And that's what the Most High is doing. He's rebuilding the mindset, you know, to carry over into the next life. Huh?
No, say that. You got it.
That's him.
Who was speaking to?
Yeah.
You're carrying that mindset over into the next life.
The second Ezra chapter 3, starting at verse 21. It said, "For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him. This infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still."
Right, so it said the first Adam going into that first incarnation, you know, the first son of God that was set up to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and rule the earth in righteousness. He fell away, and it was like the good started to fall away behind those actions, you know. But like I said, the evil still persists. That's why we see evil to this day. This earth has been overcome with evil, but and it's an imbalance, and it's been an imbalance for the longest, you know, because the Lord he said he's a false balance. It's an abomination unto him. So in the beginning, it was a perfect balance of everything. But then once once Adam fell, evil started to slowly overtake and started to become more and more prevalent in the earth, until where you see evil more than good in the earth, you know. So now the Lord is going to correct that imbalance by taking the evil man out the way. And once he fully take that evil man, once Esau go into captivity, he got 1,000 years before he ceased to exist, which is the ultimate judgment. You know, that's, you know, just we can't even fathom that. You can't even think about that. After 1,000 years or after a certain amount of time, you gonna cease to exist. You know, it's just like saying in 5 days you gonna cease to exist, and ain't nobody gonna remember you. Ain't nobody gonna think about you. Like you can't even imagine that. But that's what's gonna happen to Esau. And after that 1,000-year period, it's gonna be, you know, it's still gonna be the other nations trying to live righteously, but they ain't gonna be perfect. They're gonna be going off. But for the most part, you're gonna have good dominate, and that's gonna be a perfect balance.
So the times passed away, and the years was brought to an end. Then didst thou raise thee up a servant called David, whom thou commanded to build a city unto thy name, and to offer incense and oblations unto thee therein. And this is the same process again, because the house of David is being built once again, but the Lord repaired the breaches thereof. You know, so it went from Adam sinning, and then it went all the way up until when the Lord raised up his servant David. You know, that's why the scriptures talk about the sure mercies of David, because it said David was a man after the Most High's own heart. And it was still that same lineage, that same bloodline, you know. It said when he was when he was done many years. Because when this was done many years, then they that inhabit the city forsake thee. And in all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done, for they also had a wicked heart. See, so ever since that, and I'm gonna go to 2nd Esdras 4, because like going to this superficial world, you know, once we went out against the law, statutes, and commandments, that's when this world became superficial. But because before then it was straight immortality. You know, so once Adam went out and listened to the philosophies of the other nations, then it became superficial because we had dominion over everything then. We had dominion over all the other nations then. You know, but Eve slipped off and got into the philosophy of the other nations, then brought it back to the man, like she do today.
Yeah.
You know, she get into the philosophy of America, and then come back and feed it to the family, feed it to the man, you know, and then that starts the deterioration of our heritage, you know, of the family structure. And that's what they're done, man. Even from then until now, that's why we're gonna have to be given a new heart, you know. I'm gonna get 2nd Esdras 4. Start at verse 28. Matter of fact, somebody get it. Get 2nd Esdras 4. Start at verse 21. You want somebody else? Start at verse 21.
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 4, verse 21. But like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his flood, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth.
Right.
And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens.
But that's why Paul said in the book of Colossians, set your affections on things above. You know, even though we on the earth, just like the brother read in Romans 12, you know, when you make your body a living sacrifice, and then, you know, by honoring Yahweh, by Shema Hawashai in this body that we're in, then you start to come in a heavenly mindset, and then you start to set your affections on the things above, that perfect order in the heavens. So everything is perfect in the fourth dimension, you know. Go ahead, bro. It's a perfect order, perfect will, you got it.
Then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding.
That's right.
For it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen. Therefore, what caused the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations.
Right, because see, then we still knew who we were. You know what I'm saying? You got to put yourself in the mindset of Esdras. See, we still knew we was Israelites. Like it tell you, Esdras, like in the 3rd chapter, Esdras was he was just pondering and looking through the scriptures and was like, we the chosen people. He seeing the prophets there, but he like, dog, we in captivity. So he started to have answers. And the Lord started to bring, he started to have questions.
Yeah.
You know, and the Lord started to bring the angel Uriel to answer him, man. You know, sent him over, he took him away from the people with the fasting. You know, that flour he was eating, I wonder what it was, you know what I'm saying? Could have been the mushroom, you know, whatever for you. It's roses that you can eat, you know. Go ahead. But it was putting him in the, you know what I'm saying? How you got certain mushrooms that put you in the street, you know, they call them psychedelic mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? Which, what
Nah, I ain't laughing at what you said. I'm just
right.
thinking about
But
it.
for Clarence,
I was just thinking about it. Don't put you in the trance. I was just thinking
Yeah,
about it.
right. So we don't know what the Idris was eating, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it was the mushroom, but that could be considered a flower hag, bro. You know what I'm saying? But even with people who have mental disabilities, like instead of giving them the medicines they give them, you know what I'm saying? All these psychiatric stuff, you can give them like certain different, like you got certain mushrooms like lion's mane, good for the brain. You know what I'm saying? Lion's mane, cordyceps, you know what I'm saying? Keep the cognitive function and stuff good. You know what I'm saying? Which it you know, it ain't in its rawest form because of course we getting it in, you know what I'm saying, broken down. But if man just had to, but you know, we can eat the mushrooms. You know what I'm saying? Put you on a higher
pure
level.
back then.
Huh?
Everything was pure back then.
Right. Cause I tell you, Idris was in the field eating them flowers. So what flowers was, you know, you got it, bro.
So you stepped on that.
Yeah, stepped on there. Like
Bro, I said it was pure back then.
Oh yeah.
But that's the superficial world, you know. Because once the evil seed was sown in the heart of the chosen lineage, then everything started to deteriorate. Because they the chosen, we was made to manage the earth and keep it in its perfect form. And once we became imperfection, then everything that we was to rule over became imperfect. So this is what we building back up to now, you know. Go ahead, bro. But this is what the Lord had to make us earn it because he gave it to us. And then he let us fail all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom. And now we striving to get back there. If we can't do enough to get back there, he gonna give it to us. But he want us to strive as hard as we can to get back to that glory that we fell from.
Right.
And why the law of our forefathers is
Read the verse before that again. I'll start. Yeah, in fact, start at what verse you in? Start at 21 again.
For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his floods, even so they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens.
But who was coming to give us that understanding of the things in heaven? A heavenly being, one of the angels. You know, he was always, that's why even there, what they say, the angels is flying in the midst of heaven saying, worship the Most High. You know what I'm saying? You know, in Revelations 14, the angels is the one responsible for sealing that, you know, giving us, putting that seal on our foreheads, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, which giving us the understanding. You got it, bro.
Then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding.
Right.
For it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen.
Right. See, so then Idris had to humble himself, you know, which he was a man of the Lord, you know, but see, everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning. Because once you get this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, totally, you started wanting the kingdom to be here, you started to have questions. Everything already written in here, you know what I'm saying? For every question you got, you're gonna come across a scripture that answer that question for you. You got it, bro.
And for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations.
Right, so what's the cause of us giving over to ungodly nations? It started when Adam went out. You know, go ahead. Because then when Adam started to hide himself amongst the nations. So when he started amongst the trees, that's amongst the other nations. So once he done that, he started to become like them, really in subjection to them because he went out. Now you hanging around them. But remember, you really, according to our law, it was against the law to even hang around the heathen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even over our people who was going out. You feel me? That's why when Paul was coming, when Yahushua came, and then they started bringing in the Israelite foreigners, they were having a big dispute like, man, we don't even supposed to eat with them because Peter was eating with them. Was it Peter eating with him and somebody checked him about it? It was you know,
Yeah, he didn't want to eat with him. He didn't
right,
want to.
right. I'm forgetting the story. Go ahead, though.
He didn't.
Yahushua said, what enters a man?
No.
Yeah, how was I went?
Yeah, this in the book of Acts.
Peter didn't want to be. He didn't want to eat around them. I forgot who. I
It
pull
was
it
Paul
up.
that corrected him.
Yeah,
though,
I think it was Paul.
Yeah, it was Paul that corrected him. You know, because it was really against our laws that he sit with the our people who was in that mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once Yahushua came, he was like, oh, everybody seen it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
everybody
now they brought back into the fold. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Basically, go ahead, bro. I don't want to jump out. Go ahead.
And for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations.
Right.
Galatians.
Huh?
Salaki.
Galatians.
Mm-hmm.
What you got? You want to get it or you?
No, I was just saying it's in Galatians too. That's what.
Come.
And why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught.
See, why the law of our forefathers is about to not. But see, we bring, you know what I'm saying? We start what it say. We established the law now. You know what I'm saying? But even in this wicked land, you know, the Lord has made a perverse spirit here, man. So, but we standing on the law now. You know what I'm saying? We the only glimmer of hope in this place. Everybody, you know, because we like we just read, we that altar. You know what I'm saying? We that altar, we that monument. We basically the sign that the Lord is still worshiping in this place. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's why once we stop prophesying, once the Lord take us off the street corners and get up, you know, we be as pilgrims, our hair gonna break loose. That's why the scripture said, he got the in Revelation 7, got the angels holding the four winds back until the 144,000 are sealed. And once they are sealed, once the Lord says it's over with for us to come out, that's when He's gonna let all the wind. He's gonna stop holding destruction back. It's gonna come. Go ahead, bro.
And why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught.
Because why else is we still prophesying? Because it's still forget. We still got some more people to get it. You know what I'm saying? If we wouldn't be, that's because you gotta make it. You know what I'm saying? Just extrapolating on it spiritually. Once He pull us back, that means everybody who's supposed to get it got it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Once He pull us back, you know, go ahead. And that's the only purpose we doing this. You know, that like you said, through the foolishness of preaching, it pleased the Most High to save them that they might believe. Basically, paraphrase. You got it, bro.
And the written covenants come to none effect. And we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy.
Right.
What will He then do unto His name whereby we are called?
See, what would He did? And what the Lord said, He would not give His honor to another. So He gonna have mercy on us. He having mercy on us again, and He gonna establish that covenant that He made with us. You know? Go ahead.
Of these things have I asked. Then answered He me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel.
See, He telling heirs, look, and that's for us. The more you search, the more you gonna marvel, man. Because like the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shai is unlimited. It don't stop. You know what I'm saying? It don't never stop. You just gonna learn more and more and more and more. You know. You got it, bro.
For the world hasteth fast to pass away.
See, this world hasted fast to pass away, especially now.
Right.
You know, in the time of Ezra, it was the Babylon. It was the Babylonians rule, man. Then it went into the Persian Empire. You got it, bro.
And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come.
See, read that again, Salaki, bro.
2 Ezra 4:26. Then answered He me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel.
Come.
For the world hasteth fast to pass away,
Right.
and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come.
Matter of fact, get that. Somebody get that in 1 John 2. You get it, Yaron.
For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmity.
See, that's back then. You know, the world back then was full of unrighteousness and infirmity. It's like anywhere between 2,300 years, like right around what it was. Babylonians ruling like 5-something BC. It's like 2,500 years ago. Go ahead, you run. 1 John. You got 2 and 15.
Yeah, I got it.
Get it in the Amplified.
It's 1 John chapter 2, verse 15.
Read down a little bit on.
Huh?
Read down a little bit on.
It's 1 John 2:15 in the AMP. Do not love the world of sin that opposes the Most High and His precepts, nor the things that are in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Go ahead.
For all that is in the world, the lust and sensual cravings of the flesh, and the lust and longing of the eyes, and the boastful pride of life, pretentious confidence in one's resources or in the stability of earthly things, these do not come from the Father, but are from the world.
Right. See, go ahead.
The world is passing away.
There you go. And this act right here what Paul read, you know, this after the time of Ezra, you know, but it's that same spirit, you know. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. But even until now, you know, this 2,000 years later from when Paul reading. Go ahead.
The world is passing away, and with it its lust, the shameful pursuits and ungodly longings.
Well, this ain't Paul, Salaka, it's John. Salaka, go ahead.
But the one who does the will of the Most High and carries out His purposes lives forever.
Right, man. So this is what we try. This is not trying. This is what we going. This is the covenant that the Lord made with us, and eventually it's gonna be established. This is the process. This is the process. This is the process that we going through right now. You know, to live forever. You got it. I gotta get on you, but y'all should make me something with church.
Second Ezra 4:27, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come.
Right.
For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities.
Right. See, go ahead.
But as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come.
That's all from the time of Adam, man. Go ahead.
If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good.
What it say, call this place, call it, and this is the place. What is America? You know, the virgin daughter of Babylon, man. What say, call so-called white man on the border of wickedness, man. He is the wicked, you know. Go ahead, bro. So, and this is the place, really. This is America, man, which caused the evil to be sown. Go ahead,
Second Ezra 4:30.
Yeah. Good.
Second Ezra 4 and verse 30. For the grain of evil seed had been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning.
Right, see? Go ahead.
And how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time.
All right, see how much ungodliness is that brought up until this time, you know? And that's the time of Ezra. But how much more now, these 20, you know, like 2,500 years later. Look at it now, you know? You got social media, you spread the wickedness, that's the #1 tool now. You know, the wickedness spread across the 4 corners of the earth just via satellite.
I made that a snap. And also, bless now for the blessing. The snare is for the 2/3 that they listen partially and don't receive it or don't want to receive it. And then it's a blessing to the 1/3 that is receiving.
They say all things are done for the good of those who love Yahweh Shua and Hamashah.
And how much ungodliness hath it brought up until this time, and how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing comes?
How much more bring forth until the time of threshing comes? Because what did the angel told Yahweh? Throw in your sickle, you know what I'm saying? It's the time of threshing. You know, so we right at the time of the threshing now. You know, go ahead, bro.
Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth.
Right, man. Even amongst the chosen lineage. You know what I'm saying? You know, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces him. So the way of Esau Edom seduced the Israelites and the whole world, basically. You know, go ahead. Because going back to Genesis, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, man.
Right.
So this man was more slicker and cunningly to push his philosophies in any other nations that was in the garden, on the earth. He's so slick, just like Trump, you know. These guys slick, man. You know, which they being exposed now. But the way the so-called white man got everybody to go along with him, he came in peacefully, like everything was good, like, you know, yeah. He really forced these other nations to make deals with him. After he subjugated the 12 tribes. It was his time to rule, so he went around with the sword like, shit, get down or get, you know what I'm saying? Get down or lay down, you know what I'm saying? That's been his concept.
Yeah.
It's still his concept. You see it? He reverting back to his sword now. He like, it's a wrap. He like, shit, what Trump say? He the first sir, he sold his first he sold his first tank of oil, man. Trump told him, what did Trump say? Business open. You know what I'm saying? I think they say he made, I am sure the number, but I think they say he made $500 million off the first off the first damn, yeah. You know, this Esau Edom, though, man. You know, he puffed at his enemies. You know?
Then he bought 2,000 or 200,000 shares of Victoria's Secret.
That's
Doing
insane.
shit. And then you got it to, like you say, he just sold that for about $500 million. Here they is still sending me shit in the mail about my student loan.
Right.
And then what's funny is when he first got when he started making them tariffs on China, he said he was gonna give the citizens $2,000 from the tariff money. And then they asked him about it a few days ago. He said, when he say that? He said, he didn't say that. And so he said, if he do it, it's gonna be at the end of the year.
Like, you know, I just be talking.
But he said this a couple months ago. Now he's saying it's gonna, if it happens, it's gonna be at the end of the year. And like you said, he just made $500 million, and then he bought shares in Victoria's Secret. But everybody was waiting. I was waiting on it too. I was waiting on it.
But they keep saying it's gonna come in some form of a tax credit. It's not gonna be $2,000 that he gonna send it to each family in the household as a tax credit.
And that's what I ain't understand. What you mean by family?
Second Ezra 4:32. And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how
Right,
great.
see, which are without number, talking about the seed of evildoers. I mean, that basically, read the verse above it again. I see, we in the time of, we right in the time of threshing, man. You know, cast in your sickle for the, you know, for the fruit are ripe. You know, going into Joel chapter 3. You got it, bro.
Verse 31. Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth.
Right, go ahead.
And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they feel?
Right.
Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are ye viewing evil?
Come.
And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the most highest, for
Go ahead.
thou hastest in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded.
So we have to hasten the day, but we hasten it with patience. We can't get can't go above the most high for the end to come. You know, different prophecies have to come play out. This was the angel was telling Ezra, you know. But we just have to hasten the day patiently and just wait. Because Ezra was wanting to come in. And the angel had to look, don't hasten above the most high now, go ahead. Then he gonna tell him some more stuff. Go ahead.
Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying,
See, the souls of the righteous ask these questions, how long, O Lord? You know what I'm saying? You're not avenge our blood. You know, so the souls of the righteous asking this. We represent that too. You know, that's that Revelation 6. We get that what it's talking about, Revelation 5. Or is that 6? We're around what it was, the 5th, 6th seal, where it's all the souls of those. Hello? Hello?
You want it now?
Yeah.
This is Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held.
Right, and for the testimony which they held. Go ahead.
I read in the AMP. It
They had
says,
to held the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
this is verse 9 in the AMP. When he, the Lamb, broke open the fifth seal, I saw underneath the altar the souls of those who had been slaughtered because of the word of the Most High and because of the testimony which they held, which they had maintained out of loyalty to Yahweh Shai.
Right.
They cried in a loud voice, saying, O Lord, holy and true, how long now before you will sit in judgment and avenge our blood on those unregenerate ones who dwell on the earth?
Right. And ain't nothing new under the sun. This started with Abel right here. You know what I'm saying? When the first death of the chosen lineage, you know what I'm saying? Was he was one of, well, according to the history, Abel was one of the first of the chosen lineage to go to the spirit world. So this started with him. That's why the Lord came and told Cain, look, the blood of thy brother cried out unto me. You know what I'm saying? This is what this was talking about. You got it, huh?
And then that word unregenerate, it says not reforming or showing repentance, obstinately wrong or bad.
Right, man. Cain wasn't showing no repentance. What he tell the Lord?
I'm out my brother's keeper.
Right, man. I don't know where he thought like the Lord ain't know what was going on.
Wrong, ain't it?
Right, man. Yes, we are our brother's keepers. Go ahead, bro.
2 Ezra 4:35. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward?
See, so there you go. This show you that the Apocrypha say the same thing as what they consider the canon, you know what I'm saying, the other books of the Bible. Man, it was one book. You know, that scripture the brother read in Revelations, it was in second Ezra, you know what I'm saying? You know, what did they call the Apocrypha? The 400 years of history in between what they consider the Old and New Testament. You know, this is a history of the time when the Greeks came in. You know, that third beast in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter. And wickedness was multiplied in the earth. And they tell you when Alexander and them reigned, they changed the world like the world never be the same on how they changed. That was their mindset, man. Just like America called it democracy, and westernization, it was Hellenization. You know, wasn't nothing new. It started off as Hellenization. You was being Hellenized, you know. Today they call it westernization. Go ahead. Come, you what you say? You were saying something?
And unto these things Uriel, the archangel, gave them answer and said, even when the number of seeds is filled in you, for he hath weighed the world in the balance.
See, even when the number of seeds is filled in us, you know, you know, everything has to play out. The 144,000 had to be sealed. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when all the destruction gonna take place. You got it, bro.
By measure hath he measured the times,
See?
and by number hath he numbered the times,
Right.
and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled.
See? He measured the times already. He does not move or stir them until the said measure is fulfilled. But once the said measure is fulfilled, what the Lord said, he gonna cut the days short for the elect sakes. There's no flesh will be saved. Go ahead.
Then answered I and said, O Lord that bearest rule, even we are full of impiety. And for our sakes, peradventure, it is that the floors of the righteous are not filled, because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth. So he answered me and said, go thy way to a woman with child,
Right.
and ask of her when she hath fulfilled her 9
Read
months.
that verse above that.
Verse 39, and for our sakes, peradventure, it is that the floors of the righteous are not filled,
Right.
because of the sins of them that dwell upon the earth.
See? Go ahead.
So he answered me and said, go thy way.
So it's all about the elect being sealed,
Right.
the bride being made ready. You know what I'm saying?
So he answered me and said, go thy way to a woman with child, and ask of her when she hath fulfilled her 9 months,
Right.
if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. Then said I, no, Lord, that can she not. And he said unto me, in the grave the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman. For like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape.
Read the verse, 2 verses above it.
On 2 Ezra 4 and 40. So he answered me and said, go thy way to a woman with child, and ask of her when she has fulfilled her 9 months,
Right.
if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her.
Right, man. So it has to go through the whole process, man. You know, like I said, Most High way the world in the balance, man. The day is already set. You know, we just got to go through the process. You know what I'm saying? Because what it say? One day is as 1,000 years with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So in the realm he in, see that's the immortality. Time don't exist really. That's why like 1,000 years us is one day to him. But when we get that immortality, when we be like him,
Yeah.
we the right of his inheritance. Time ain't no more. Time don't exist to us. You see mortality. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Time
right.
ain't gonna even exist. You got the nations in slavery for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
They're gonna be hardcore. They're gonna be like a day to us. That's gonna be a day to us. You know? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be a day to us. We
Yeah.
just gonna be. Hey, it's over. It's time for them. It's over already. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You got it, bro.
Then he
So
said,
you gotta get on. That's why even in your dream, right? It seems like you done went through all this in your dream. It seems like it's been a long time, you know what I'm saying? But then it ain't been hardly no time, you know what I'm saying? Your dream, cause see, really, you in the spiritual, when you start dreaming, you in the spiritual realm, you know what I'm saying? You really, cause you closing your eyes, right?
Yeah.
So you leaving this realm, really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You really in the spiritual realm, then, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's like, certain stuff you try to do in there, you know what I'm saying, it don't happen, you know what I'm saying? Cause you in the spiritual realm, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro. It's so, see, we getting all that knowledge back now, you know what I'm saying? See, Esau know about all that, you feel me? He try to, that's why he want to put that device in you. He won't know what you dream.
Yeah,
Boy, I see everything you dream last night. Go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or what he thinking them thoughts are taking me down?
Yeah.
Cut him out. I'm gonna go back and start watching these old movies though. Go ahead, bro.
then said I, no, Lord, that can she not. And he said unto me, in the grave the chambers of souls are like the womb of a woman.
Right.
For like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail, even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committing unto them.
Right, man. Esau think he finna. He sound like he go. You see Trump? They trying to do whatever they can, boy, to keep it going, boy. But it's a wrap. All they doing is, you know, the Lord, like you say, the Lord has laid a snare for Babylon. He is not aware of it, man. You know, the pride of his heart, the pride of the Edomite heart, really have deceived him. Look at how they got Trump moving. You know, it's the least controlling the shots, but they ain't even moving in a way to trick everybody now. They just went straight guerrilla, man. They
Yeah.
turning back to their nature, you know.
Bro, I was talking about Wednesday. I was like, shit, what you lying for? This your world.
Right. And they ain't playing no more. You know what I'm saying? Coming down with great rap. I went into the Mexican restaurants today. All them, I can tell all them in there is like shook. Like they don't know what's the next step. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? For real, man.
They're watching everybody come in. They don't know to run or
Right, exactly.
yeah.
They had the ones eating, they're the ones working. Like shit.
I read an article too that the ICE that shot the woman in Minneapolis just before they went in, they stopped at a Mexican restaurant and ate.
Ain't that something?
You know, it's just
Right, just playing with a ton.
yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and eat, order some food here, everybody shoot, you know. Alright, Esau like to play, man. It's okay, Esau, you gonna get it though. Even though you putting the hell on No, but it's the time of Jacob's trouble. We understand what's going on with Esau. That Jeremiah 30, man. Yeah, it's coming to you. That Jeremiah 30 and 15, all our adversaries, each and every last one of them, we're gonna get some get back. You got it, bro. You like, yeah. You get some car, you hyped up, boy. You smile all night. Go ahead.
And like it said this the travail is a necessity. It was a necessity that we go through what we're going through now. And that the world gonna go through what it's gonna go through. I'm gonna read it again. 2nd Esdras 4:42. For like as a woman that travaileth maketh haste to escape the necessity of the travail, even so do these places haste to deliver those things that are committed unto them.
Go ahead. See, they don't what it say. Our adversaries refuse to let us go. But our Redeemer is strong. Well, nobody want. Everybody want who up next to rule over, to rule over them Israelites. That energy that they come with, that energy that they bring. They create empires even in captivity. You feel me? They gonna build an empire in captivity.
Like 20 years a slave, it's just like any slave move. They got them on the auction, like before they show them off, showing them what all they can do.
Right.
Look at them teeth, man.
Right.
And then they had the little boy doing a little high knee. Look what they can do.
That's right. You sure.
Yeah.
Verse 43. From the beginning, look what thou desirest to see, it shall be showed thee. Then answered I and said, if I have found favor in thy sight, and if it be possible, and if I be meet therefore, show me then whether there be more to come than is past,
Bro!
or more past than is to come.
Bro! Go ahead, bro.
What is past I know,
Right.
but what is for to come I know not.
Go.
He said unto me, stand up upon the right side, and I shall expound the similitude unto thee. So I stood and saw, and behold, an hot burning oven passed by before me. And it happened that when the flame was gone by, I looked, and behold, the smoke remained still.
Right, go ahead.
After this, there passed by before me a watery cloud, and sent down much rain with a storm.
Go.
And when the stormy rain was past, the drops remained still. Then said he unto me, consider with thyself, as the rain is more than the drops, and as the fire is greater than the smoke,
Right.
but the drops and the smoke remain behind. So the quantity which is past did more exceed.
So the quantity which is past did more exceed. Go ahead.
Then I prayed and said, may I live, thinkest thou, until that time, or what shall happen in those days?
Right.
He answered me and said,
What does the air say? Woe is me. Go ahead. I don't know if that's coming up.
He answered me and said, as for the tokens whereof thou asked me, I may tell thee of them in part, but as touching thy life, I am not sent to show thee, for I do not know it.
Right, go ahead. So he's breaking down the process that is. Just read the next couple verses in verse 5, and then we'll close it out with it. So he's just going into breaking down everything that is, you know. Because he was letting them know, look, the time you in that gonna be way more wicked in the future. You know what I'm saying? So the times that we in that, why? Because it's Esau rule shit. It's Esau kingdom. You know? The wicked is ruled. And them Babylonians was wicked as hell because you had Nimrod.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody hold that hold Isaiah 33, 5 and 6. Now that one we gonna end it with. We're gonna start ending with this. Go ahead, Lord.
So 2nd Esdras 5 and 1, nevertheless, as cometh the tokens, behold,
So he steady breaking it down to Ezra. You know what I'm saying? So nevertheless, as becoming the tokens, go ahead.
the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number.
And falling away had to come first, you know, and then the man of sin is gonna be revealed, you know. And this the times we in now, you know, Don't nobody, those that don't know the truth are taken away in great numbers. Oh, bro, how you doing, bro? Shalom.
And the way of truth shall be hidden,
See, and the way of truth shall be hidden.
and the land shall be barren of faith.
Right, man. And the land shall be barren of faith. Go ahead.
But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest.
See, all he told is iniquity gonna be increased way above the time that thou seest, and Jake just do it in the captivity. Go ahead.
Or that thou hast heard long ago.
Or that thou hast heard long ago.
And the land that thou seest now to have root shall thou see wasted suddenly.
This America, the land that thou seest now that shall have root, it's gonna be waste suddenly. Trump around here taking oil, kidnapping folks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, America still like it's going right now, but suddenly the lights gonna go out in this place. No more trucks running, famine, race war, civil war, all that's coming. That's gonna lead back to the coming of the Lord, though. That's what's coming. All that's gonna hit America and like overnight. They gonna issue that MOB, you know, they gonna issue that Quran. Right, man. Right, right, man. No.
But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the
Sun
night.
gonna suddenly shine again, man, because the chariots of Israel gonna come, man. Deliver that remnant, deliver the elect, you know. You can just stop, that's the end of that verse.
And the moon thrice in the day.
Right, man. You know, we're gonna be perfected in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Shem Shai. We're gonna be delivered. A lot of us gonna be changed in the twinkling of an eye. We ain't gonna have to taste death. And that immortality, that perfect life that we always striving for, we finally gonna receive it, and it's gonna be forevermore. Go ahead. Isaiah 33, 5 and 6.
All right, this is Isaiah 33, verse 5. The Lord is exalted.
How about Shema Shai is exalted? We exalting the Lord, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh, through his spirit, you know. This is how the Lord is being exalted. He made our body a living sacrifice. Go ahead, bro.
For he is dwelleth on high.
He dwelleth on high.
He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness.
He have filled Zion. He filled us with judgment and righteousness now. Now we understand. Now we get it. You know, go ahead.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Shai is his treasure.
Right, so that's what it's all about in the times that we're in. Wisdom and knowledge is the stability of these times and the strength of our salvation. For the fear of the Lord, that's his treasure. And what's the fear of the Lord? The wisdom and knowledge. You know? That's the real treasure. You got it, bro.
They know we gonna close out. First and foremost, we're gonna turn and face the east. Give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders and GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, we say Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Ba ba ba.
Ba ba ba.
Shalom.
Shalom.